want to welcome all of you to yet another episode of the Beard Al podcast about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And boy, howdy, are you people in for something today? Because frankly, I too am in for something today. We teased it on the last episode, but seeing as the album Even Worse is one of only two Weird Al albums that is sans polka, we decided to imagine what a polka on Even Worse would look like. And my ever so astute husband, Russ, say hello, Russ.
Hello, Russ.
Has decided, and in a very, I'm going to say astute again, in a very astute fashion, that Even Worse would likely have had a hair metal polka on it. And so what is going to happen here today is going to be an imagining of what a hair metal polka on the Even Worse album would have looked like. And I realize that that's a lot of stipulations, but again, we're working in a theoretical universe based on things that happened at actual points in the past. So we're working on a real timeline with songs that were released at a time that would have made sense to be on Even Worse. Yes?
So I don't even think it's really a lot of speculation because I mean, it's pretty much fact-based, and I'll tell you why. Because, the 1980s were an incredibly diverse time in music, for sure. However, hindsight and, there's a lot of revisionist history that goes on with a lot of songs and things like, songs that were absolutely not hits at the time that have gone on to be enormous hits now, or bands that broke later that people know much earlier songs now, and they say, oh, well, that might have been. No, it was not, absolutely not a hit at the time. And for those of us who are old enough to have been there at the time, we know these things. And like the things that I point out on that, and we've talked about this along the way on the episodes of Even Worse, is it's easy now for people to look back and wax poetic about things like pre-Violator Depeche Mode, or pre Green REM, or pre Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I could go on.
I'm nodding. People can't hear that, but I am.
Pre Disintegration, The Cure. Yeah. And that's all fine and good now. And every one of those acts broke at one point to, and at the time had a certain amount of success, but none of them were mainstream at the time. They were all on. Some of you of a certain age may remember an alternative show that MTV used to have on for a very long time called 120 Minutes, that was dedicated solely to quote unquote alternative music. Before that, MTV had the precursor to that, which ironically was not 2 hours long. But which, by the way, that's how 120 Minutes got its name.
Oh.
It was 2 hours long, but the much shorter program was called Postmodern MTV, and that was the only hour of the day where MTV would play B-52s, Depeche Mode, and so on, right? And
I could see why they couldn't call it 60 Minutes,
right? And it broadcast at like 11 o'clock at night. Like they were like, oh, and also we made a deal with the record label, and we have to play these videos, so here they all are at once. And again, I'm sure you can look this up online somewhere. Before alternative music was called, quote, alternative music, Rolling Stone magazine in the back, every week used to have the Billboard Top 200, or I'm sorry, every month when Rolling Stone came out, used to have the Billboard Top 200 chart. And in the very bottom corner of it, there was always the quote college rock, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where you would usually see, REM and The Cure and so on and so forth. So when people might look at this and go, yeah, but why wouldn't he do a medley with, a polka with all of these because they weren't mainstream.
Right.
You know, it's quite surprising actually that even Spam made it onto UHF. You know, a year later. You know, I mean, that was Stand was a big enough hit to make it. But again, at that time, he still wasn't glancing in the direction of, again, all those names that I'd said before, the Chili Peppers and the Cure and so on and so forth. You know, everybody can look back now and go, oh, the one I love, and Just Like Heaven, and you know, Just Can't Get Enough, and all that. You know, none of those songs were mainstream at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I assure you. And if you go back and you look at the chart history, I will be proven right. However, what was mainstream very much at the time was hair metal. And outside of hair metal, the other thing that was big and mainstream was, you know, regular pop rock. And the reason why I am so just staunchly behind the idea that the polka would have, and furthermore should have been hair metal, is because I feel strongly that he covered everything that needed to be covered that was going on in the pop rock sphere with the parodies on the record.
Yes.
And I mean, you know this, I'm this side of a music historian. That is not to say there wasn't other quality music going on at the time. But you know, a Weird Al album is not meant to cover every single thing that's happening at the time. It's meant to be
it's a snapshot.
Yeah, it's a good snapshot of what's happening. And I feel strongly that the track listing on Even Worse is a strong reflection of the pop rock hits of the time. So the only glaring omission from what was huge in pop culture at the time is hair metal. So the one thing missing from Even Worse is a polka. The one thing not represented on Even Worse that was big in pop culture at the time is hair metal.
Ergo.
Cut to, so on, so forth, therefore, and thusly, hair metal polka.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So we've been teasing this and kind of noodling on this on pretty much every episode in the Even Worse series so far. And I'm glad it's actually happening. And just so the listeners here are aware, here's how this is going down. This is going to be the episode of the Beard Owl podcast that in the entire 6 years of the Beard Owl podcast, I have the least control over because I did no work ahead of time. This is Russ's brainchild, and I'm here to react to it and talk through it with him because this is his milieu. This is the thing that he knows. And I married the man. And I wouldn't have married somebody who didn't know what a Weird Al polka should be. Mm-hmm. So I trust what's about to happen here as a person of authority in the Weird Al space.
Sure.
So I'm very, very excited for this. And I'm excited to see how this whole thing goes. So before you jump into it, can you just walk through what were your mental parameters and what was your thought process?
Yeah. So first of all, as far as a Weird Al polka goes, talk about legwork. I actually went and averaged them up, and there's the two anomalies that you can think of. The Hot Rocks polka is overloaded, and then the Bohemian polka is underloaded. But other than that, on average, Weird Al polkas have between 10 and 15 songs. So I decided I was going to shoot for 12. Because I feel like first of all, I think that's just a good number. Second of all, and you'll hear as I go through, I have some of those things that Weird Al does where in polkas where some songs get a little more shine than others, where like some songs I've got like a verse and a chorus, and then other songs I've got the thing where it's like just the hook.
Okay.
And that's it, so I didn't time this out, but I'm pretty sure by how I have this in my head, which by the way, I also have suggested transitions for
I'm so excited. When you told me that you were doing suggested transitions, I was like, yes, you've thought this whole thing through.
Yeah. I Now I will say in advance, I don't know the names of the polkas all that well, like the polka styles and whatnot, like the Irabuka polka and all that. Like, so that's going to be a pain point for some folks. Like there's going to be a point where I'm going to be like, and I would expect them to do it in this style. And there are going to be people that are going to hear this and are going to be like, he means this polka. I don't know that. And I'm just going to say that in advance. But I will shoot out there and be like, I'm going to make references. I'm going to be like, like in the one polka where he does this, like that's,
Yep.
that, and people will at least know what I'm talking about.
I love it.
The other thing is that generally with a polka, Weird Al tries to stay within like the past year ish. And Even Worse was released in April of '88. And in my opinion, the record would have been finished recording in very early '88. So what I did for my parameters for what I was including in this was I didn't just go, oh, well, the album has to have been released in '86 and '87. I actually went through and looked like what singles were released when from the albums, because, and I'm going to talk about this for each song because, for example, there will be one where, there's going to be a couple where people are going to be like, well, why wouldn't you pick this song? And it was because the album might have been released in this year, but that song didn't come out as a single until either like what I would like early enough in '88 that I would feel like it wouldn't have been able to, or there's many singles that came out like after Even Worse was even released as an album. So obviously there's no way it would have been on the
right
Hair Metal Polka.
Oh, see, folks, I love this. I love this. It's like bulletproof logic, and I am so here for it. Like he's done the work. He's done the work. Oh, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Get it.
So I got 12 songs on here. I figure we can jump in and discuss each one. So I think if you're going to start a Hair Metal Polka, in which, by the way, like I say, I've got transitions and everything. I feel strongly that this is the order that these should go in. They're not in order of the release of the songs. They're in the order in which I think that they would work together perfect as a polka.
Yep.
That's another thing I double checked. I didn't think that Weird Al ever did. I never thought that any polka was chronological, but I double checked that to make sure. So that none of this is chronological.
Right.
These are literally in the order that I just think a Hair Metal Polka would work best.
Okay.
So just FYI.
Awesome.
So I have 12 of them on here. We'll probably aim to take a break around 6 and then, go through to the end of them.
I love it.
So having said that, the Hair Metal Polka, in my opinion, I don't think there's any other way to start the Hair Metal Polka than with the gang vocals of everyone in the band. All of them saying, step inside, walk this way. You and me, babe.
My God.
Or actually, I would think that first you would have Weird Al say, step inside, walk this way, you and me, babe. And then all of the band go, hey, hey. And then,
oh my God.
Yeah. And then have like full polka kick in and do the entire verse until the Demolition Woman, Can I Be Your Man? And then, of course, it'd be like, Demolition Woman, Can I Be Your Man? Hey, dun, 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 dun. Hey, right?
So for those who don't know, this song is Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard.
Right, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I should probably say that.
Yeah.
Well, I figured with the intro, I wanted to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, it's just like you push play on the Hair Metal Polka, and you get Weird Al. Step inside, walk this way, you and me, babe. And then, hey, dun, 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 like on the accordion. Right. I mean, there's just no other way that.
Oh my God, no, there isn't.
And then you go right through the first verse, polka style, and then, Demolition Woman, Can I Be Your Man? Hey, hey, like, I mean, it's just super easy. I will step off because I made all of these notes. There were a ton of singles off of Hysteria, but only these songs were singles in '87. In this order, or not in this order, but Animal, Women, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and Hysteria. So they're like Rocket and Armageddon It were singles, but they were released in 88.
Okay.
Also, no one in their right mind would pick anything but Pour Some Sugar on Me for this anyways.
Right.
So you would come out of that with the Demolition Woman, Can I Be Your Man? Hey. Coming out of that into the one and only number one hit by this artist ever, and everyone on earth thinks that it's Crazy Train, and that's not true. Coming out of that into Shot in the Dark by Ozzy Osbourne from the 1986 album The Ultimate Sin. All the singles off of this record were released in 1986, and again, this record carried because Ozzy's only number one song, so it was huge. So you get the hey, and then just goes right down into Out on the Street, I'm walking the night, or I'm stalking in the night, I can hear my heavy breathing, stops for right?
Yeah, that's what it would do.
Right. And then goes through the rest of that. It goes through the pre-chorus into the chorus. And then the cool thing is Shot in the Dark has that always creeping up on you. Right. And then always creeping up on you. All right. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Then and again, like I say, there were 3 other singles off of Ultimate Sin that were released, but again, no one but me even remembers the names of those singles. They're great. I mean, they're fantastic songs, but inarguably the only song anybody remembers off of that record is that.
Wow.
So then we come to the first song. I think this might be the only song where you there's another one that's kind of that way, but this is one of those ones where it's just the hook.
Okay.
So you come out of Shot in the Dark with the always creeping up on you, which would have the everything stops with the harmonized you and the all right. Right. And then you would get on the accordion, of course, panned to the right and left like it was on the guitar original, the intro to Dude Looks Like a Lady from Aerosmith's 1986 album Permanent Vacation, but Dude Looks Like a Lady was released as a single in September of 87. So extremely late single off of it, but a monster hit.
You'd have Dwana.
Well, it'd be like always creeping up on you. All right, and it. Yeah, Dude Looks Like a Lady. Dude looks like a lady. Yeah. And then this is where
Dude looks like a lady.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly the transition. Now here's where this is one of my more astute transitions here.
God. Okay.
The song Dude Looks Like a Lady, Word Around the Campfire, was written about a certain rock star. And I have that song transitioning into a big hit by that certain rock star. It is from the 1986 album Slippery When Wet. All the singles from this record were released in 86 and 87. So again, coming out of and a dude looks like a lady, 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 and then you get again the stop with everybody shot through the heart, and you're to blame, darling. You give love a bad name, right?
A bad name.
And I mean, perhaps insert a fart noise.
You give love a bad name.
Yeah, something along those lines. Now, you can come, and again, I totally think Weird Al would do that because the Word Around the Campfire was that Dude was written about John.
He still looks like a lady.
Well, he just looks like a grandma.
Old lady.
Yeah, he looks like a grandma now.
Yeah, still a lady.
Um,
Oh God.
so yeah. So which by the way, I'm on fire so far.
You really are.
Yep.
So
now
I
that
married you for a reason.
Now that one, honestly, you could cut it off at the chorus, but I think you could at least do a verse, like a quick verse of that. Now coming out of that into this, now we're going to have some in here that I think people are going to be like, I don't remember that, but you got to remember this is a polka of the time and the hits were huge at the time. Now, and this is going to be one of the ones I have to qualify by. People might be like, but why wouldn't you pick this other song? And it's because the other song, you remember, did not come out as a single until after Even Worse was already released.
Mm-hmm.
So whether or not you do a full verse of You Give Love a Bad Name or not, you would come out of that into Wait by White Lion. And most people would say, well, why wouldn't you do When the Children Cry? When the Children Cry didn't come out as a single until September of '88.
Wait.
So you go, wait. I never had a chance to love you. Now, the transition on here is more of a kind of a Humpty Dance situation, or Hot Blooded.
Okay.
After because Wait very much like on the original comes in, but wait, I never had it. It's like very desperate, right?
Yeah.
But then it on the chorus on Wait, it never had a chance to love you. Now I only want to say it. Right, it has that stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on the Weird Al, he'd do the whole desperate, wait, I never had a chance to love you, like all like overly desperate. Yeah. But then it would stop. And, now I only want to say I love you one more time. like the drop because,
oh God.
because coming out of that, you would have a harmonized vocal, still low, and more of that like type thing from the album Under Lock and Key by the band Dokken.
Okay.
In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong and still remains. Like,
oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God.
And then that allows you to kick back up into that first verse. You do that, the low transition out of Wait into In My Dreams, because it's got that, the Wait has that not acapella, but the stop with Mike Tramp's vocal. And you have at least not the full harmony, but you at least have the double vocal. And then your love is strong and still remains. And then have that kick up into the verse so you can get back up into the full band.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh man.
And you're going to need the full band because you're going to go into inarguably one of the biggest bangers of the entire hair metal era. Like unquestionably. Like, this is one, if you shake anybody awake in the middle of the night and you're like, name a hair metal song, they're gonna be like, this song. And people are going to have to wait to find out about that. Until after those commercials, because as a recap, we are on now the 6th song of 12 in the hair metal, which, by the way, I'm not usually one to toot my own horn, but just real quick, toot, because I have crushed this, as I told you that I did. So far, the hair metal polka is Pour Some Sugar on Me, a brilliant way to open it, into Shot in the Dark by Ozzy, into Dude Looks Like a Lady by Aerosmith, into You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi, into Wait by White Lion, into In My Dreams by Dokken, all of which I have given you perfect segues for.
Yeah.
And you can hear this medley happening in your head, can you not? Or this polka, rather?
I sure can.
So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, folks. You're gonna have to sit through some ads or fast forward through them. I don't really care. I get paid either way. Anyway, yeah, we'll catch you. We'll catch you on the other side. Oh my gosh, this is great. You know what? You should know this by now. I'm faking you out. There's more ads. All right, and we're back. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to see how this polka wraps up. Like so far, this has been everything that I had hoped that it would be. I am sitting here.
It's all good from here.
Wiping tears from my eyes, crying, laughing. I can hear it in my head. And this is one of those things that I wish happened. But I love that it's happening now this way. So
I have thoughts on that. Remind me when we get to the end to talk about I wish this happened.
Okay.
So when we last saw our faithful heroes, they were talking about how In My Dreams would come out of weight with the Humpty Dance type, hot-blooded type, In My Dreams it's still the same. And then it would kick up the, calling my name, but you're still in the way in my dreams, what can I say or do? You won't come back, we're through. I realize too late that baby, your love is turned away. In my dreams, it's still the same.
Yes.
Yes. And then you get to the end of that, the chorus. Your love is strong, it still remains. 'Cause here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my God. Like a drifter, I was born to walk. Oh my God.
Yep. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone.
I made up my mind.
Well, and then, and I made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. That's like pretty.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean.
That's a good way to come back. So that is Here I Go Again by Whitesnake.
Yeah, Here I Go for, again, Whitesnake off the self-titled record. Still the Night, Is This Love, and Here I Go Again were all released as singles in 1987, so they all qualify for it. But again, that's the tippity top of the mountain. Like, how are you not gonna?
Yeah.
But and again, another record from 1987 will follow that up. And sometimes Weird Al links the lyrics of like one into
sure do
the next thing on a polka. Okay. So and it's not gonna lie, this is another very astute transition here. So and here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Well, like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. And I made up my mind, I ain't wasting no more time with those girls. Yeah, from the Motley Crue album of the same title.
Girls.
From 1987.
Oh
all the singles from Girls were released in 1987, so they all qualify. And I chose one verse specifically because he would just crush it, but go on.
So did you imagine, because the in the Motley Crue song, it's girls, and then he goes, dun, 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 right? There's other lyrics down there. I hear that in my head as he does the girls, and then it's like when it's the group of them going with hair and burgundy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like the up and the down.
Yes, but I have
okay.
I have the last verse for a specific reaon.
Okay.
So the girls, in the body shop in the Marlboro Arch, girls, Tropicana is where I lost my heart. And then it would drop to the groove that happens in girls, near the end specifically. So you have Al say, hey, Kimo, check that out. And then you have Chemo say, "What, Al? Where?" And then you have Al say, "Right there." just like Vince and Tommy in
Oh my
Girls,
God.
Girls, Girls. And then when Al directs Chemo's attention by saying "right there," and Chemo has asked Al a question, "What, Al, where?" And Al has said "right there." Al has a question for Chemo now that they're down in a groove like that.
Uh-huh.
And they switch over, and Al says, "Do you know where you are?"
Oh God.
And they're still doing the groove of the breakdown of Jungle there, because they've transitioned from the breakdown of Girls, 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 the dun 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 dun. Just you figure it's faster. Dun 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 dun. And then when Al goes, "Do you know where you are?" They go dun 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 dun. Right, "You're in the jungle, baby." And then it stops, and Al goes, "You're gonna die, 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 die."
Hey.
Right, and then they all come back in together, and Al goes, "Jungle, welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring it to you." And then it stops, and they all in harmony go, "Shin-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-knees."
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Now here's another record though where people might be like, "Well, why not Paradise?"
Welcome
or why
to the
not,
Jungle by Guns
Sweet
N'
Child of
Roses.
Mine? It's So Easy and Jungle are the only singles that were released in 1987 from Appetite for Destruction. That's another revisionist history thing. People are like, "Oh man, I remember I used to own Appetite right when it came out." No, you did not. No, you're a lying liar who lies a lot. No, you did not. Appetite did not break for a very long time after it came out. Sweet Child of Mine was not released as a single until well into 1988. Paradise City wasn't released as a single until well into 1988. Jungle and It's So Easy were the only singles in 1987. Both of them flopped hard when they came out. The Jungle was even attached to a Clint Eastwood movie and still flopped. But by the time, by the end of 87, Jungle was like gaining steam. So it would have been good enough to include in this. It's So Easy never had a chance at being in this, but
Right.
Jungle would have
Jungle totally makes sense. Oh my God.
So
Wow.
yeah, oh, I know. This is brilliant.
Wow.
This is brilliant. So then everybody, they all stop and then knees. And then you get like a polka transition to shake me all night, shake me, break it down, baby, baby, shake me all night long.
Oh, Cinderella, shake me.
Yeah, you darn right. Cinderella, Shake Me. All the singles from Night Songs were released in 1986 and 1987. He could have put Nobody's Fool in there,
but Shake Me makes so much
I feel
more
like
sense than a
Shake
polka.
Me would be the way better pick
Did you have
for
a tambourine
for
happening?
the polka. Yeah, it especially for the transitions
Oh my
and
God.
everything. But yeah, they shut it knees, dun, 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 shake me all night,
long,
shake me, shake it, don't break it, baby. You know, like,
Don't break it.
yeah, just super easy, super easy
Oh
to
my
do. And then when you come out of that, we only have two left in this. We have a lot of discussion that we can still do here, but so when you come out of that, then you got another like polka transition, right, to get from point A to point B. She said, "Shake me all night." She said, "Shake me all night long." And then, dun, 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 or whatever, some polka thing. And show me your bright lights and your city lights. All right. I'm talking about a Yankee Rose.
Oh my gosh, David Lee Roth.
I mean, now you got the gang vocals. You'd have the whole one, bright lights,
Yeah. Now
you get like bright lights and you have all right. And your city lights. I'm talking about it. Like it would just be like almost because David Lee Roth's vocal on that, even though he's singing a song about the Statue of Liberty and like freedom, and it's not like the vocals or the lyrics are not like typical David Lee Roth, like dirty. He's singing them dirty.
Yeah.
Like the way he sings it is like very but the Dave's vocal is very like raunchy.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I think, is he like being nasty about a statue? You know, by just his delivery. So it would be
I have been up her skirt.
Well, so is David Lee Roth. But it would be fun if Al's vocal was like super innocent about it, like, you know, like, show me your, and he's like, bright lights, you know, like
city lights,
yeah, like and your city lights, you know, like just like super duper like the meaning behind the lyrics, you know what I mean, like
oh
like
my goodness,
I'm talking about a Yankee Rose, you know, like that.
I'm talking about a Yankee Rose.
Yeah.
That's the only way I will abide by that song in English.
Right. Yeah. As if it's in the Hair Metal Polka. So we are up to song number 12 because we have now had now with Yankee Rose, by the way, depending on if you were to time this out, like if there was time, you could include that the breakdown, like oh, she's beautiful, all right, yeah, nothing like her in the whole world, you know, like if there was time, and either way you can get to my last song.
I can't wait.
Whether you're gonna come out of the chorus of Yankee Rose or out of the breakdown of Yankee Rose, you can go either way. So let's say that we don't have time for the breakdown. I'm talking about it. Because baby will be at the drive-in in the old man's Ford, honk, 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 behind the bushes till I'm screaming for more down the basement, lock the cellar door, you know, like, because, you know, in the whole, you're doing the whole obnoxious, like, you know, gang vocals and all that stuff. And baby, talk dirty to me, do the whole thing. And baby, and then stops, and Weird Al would whisper it just like Brett, the talk dirty to me, right? And then, or maybe talk polka to me.
Oh, talk polka to me.
Yeah.
That's Talk Dirty to Me by Poison.
From the album Look What the Cat Dragged In. All of the singles for Cat were released in 86 and 87. And what's interesting, and again, this is a thing where people might be like, well, why wouldn't you do Every Rose Has a Thorn? Or what? Because those are off of Open Up and Say Ah, which did not come out until 1988. So you did. You opened up and say Ah. So all of those, like, you know, Fallen Angel and Your Mama Don't Dance and all that, that's off of stuff that record wasn't released until after Even Worse came out. So you got to work from the first record, and no one in their right mind is going to put I Won't Forget You or Cry Tough or I Want Action in this medley. It's going to be Talk Dirty to Me.
Wow. Yeah. Talk polka to me.
And then the only thing I was curious about is so at the end, would it just go like on accordion, of course, like you know, or would it be like you know, and baby talk dirty to me, and then like talking dirty, right.
Yeah, it would go like that, because every polka up until Running with Scissors. So Running with Scissors was the first one that didn't do it. Every polka ended with the ear booker polka that did da 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 da.
Okay,
hey,
that's what I was curious about that when I was putting it together.
So it would end with that.
Okay, so it would, yeah. Okay, then that it works either way.
Talking dirty to me. Hey!
Well, you couldn't do the talk dirty and then
to me, but then it would have to end with the da 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 da.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. You could still do that.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
But either way, you can get there either way.
Yeah.
I have to assume when Weird Al hears this episode, he's going to put all this together anyway. So
I hope so.
Creative freedom to him. Everything else, by the way, is my intellectual property. And if he is going to change any of it, I will need a phone call first.
He can come over.
No, phone call's fine.
No, you can talk through it.
I've already hugged the man. He already told me that Party Up a Kind of one of his favorite songs of all time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it. I was there.
Plus, he's kind of needy. Like last time we were talking to him, he was like hanging on me and shit. You know, it's a bit too much. It's like, okay, you already provided me with a wife, dude. That's enough. You know?
Man.
But yeah, so like I'm not being funny when I say this. That's a perfect hair metal polka.
No, it is. It is. Like 10 out of 10 no notes for me. 27 out of 27 no notes.
If that would have came out in 1988, it would be my favorite Weird Al polka.
Yeah. I mean, it would be solid. It would absolutely do what it needed to do, and it would make complete sense. Like, because here's my thing, right? So if you're talking about that late 80s, early 90s bubble of time, right? Like, I absolutely love Polka Your Eyes Out from Off the Deep End, right?
Polka Your Eyes Out and Alternative Polka are gold.
Right. Yeah, no, they absolutely are. And
I mean, the man doesn't make a bad polka, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I totally know what you're saying.
Like splitting the finest of hairs.
Because like between Polka Party in 86 and Off the Deep End in 91, you don't have a polka that does anything timely in the middle.
I know that you were younger than me at the time. Our nation was in a polka drought.
We really were, and it was hard.
No, I lived through it.
It was hard times.
Which is why I'm so passionate about this topic.
Yeah. And so this would have made sense. You know who I'm curious to see what I'm curious to know what Polka Bob thinks about this.
All right.
I think Polka Bob.
I just like, first of all, I respect Polka Bob. We'd have to go back and check the tape. I think I gave Polka Bob his name.
You did.
Okay. Just point being, I want to say those things before I say the following. Am I being questioned?
No, you're not being questioned.
Okay.
I'm just saying I'd be curious to hear what he has to say about it.
Okay.
That doesn't negate how awesome any of this is. And also,
if I may venture a Polka Bob impression, I think the first thing Bob would say is, well, I don't know half of those songs, so I got to listen to them first.
Oh, Bob.
and then here's my post, Bob. Listen to those songs. I listen to those songs. You're right. I listen to those songs. I think you're really onto something.
So this may be the first time anybody has impersonated Polka Bob on any platform.
Mm-hmm.
And that
I feel confident.
That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
And to be clear, just so everyone knows, like, I know usually when people do impressions, they cover over it by the age-old phrase of, imitation is a serious form of flattery. Ha ha ha. Like, no, I truly believe that. Like, if you hear me do an impression of someone, and you know this, Lauren, like in our real life, if I take the time to work up an impression of you, it is because I deeply admire you. So like, I in no way am poking fun at Bob. Like, I deeply admire
you can
Bob.
Poke fun at him.
Well, good one.
Yeah.
But no, I deeply admire Bob as a human being. And like, the only reason why I have a remote Bob impersonation is because I deeply admire Bob, and it really is the sincerest form of flattery. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. That's great. It's like he's here.
But I also believe firmly that Bob would say those two phrases. That first he needs to listen to all those songs, and then also he would be like, I think you're right.
Yep. So, man, I wish we had the power to put this together.
Well, that's okay. So I'm glad you brought that up. So AI exists, and like every time I turn around, people are like, "Hey, man," because people say that to me a lot. A lot of people come up to me and go, "Hey, man."
I'm sure they do.
Get another greeting. People are forever sending me links, and they're like, "Hey, did you hear this?" And it's like, what if Nirvana was out in the 50s or whatever? And it's because somebody had a computer do something. Mm-hmm. So you have a sizable listening base. Somebody who listens to this show is better with AI than I could ever hope to be. Let's get on this.
Yeah.
And by let's, I mean you.
Right.
Like, listener who is better with AI than me. Or at the very minimum, like, somebody should be able to like chop up these songs with like Audacity and like change the tempos and stuff to like, like
and
piece them
like
together.
Throw in
or whatever. But like, I'm pretty sure if people can make like these like trailers that come out every 2 seconds that are like, what if Star Trek was made in the 40s or whatever, that you see all the time. Like, pretty sure the power. We have the power to like make this hair metal polka happen.
Uh-huh.
I don't like. This is not me being lazy, by the way. Like Lauren knows this. I do self-taught content creation like constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I just know less than zero about anything about how to manipulate like audio.
Right.
But I am certain that there are people, I was going to say a person, but people who listen to your show who like know how to do this. I would be eternally grateful if somebody put this together, because I firmly believe that I have created a masterpiece here. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh yeah, I'm so smart. Like I firmly believe that I have created a masterpiece.
Like I was laughing all along with the whole thing, and just on a personal level, people, if your spouse doesn't make you laugh and as happy as my husband has over the course of the past 45 minutes, then you are doing it wrong. Like, you are absolutely doing it wrong. I fully trusted that this was going to be wonderful, and this was even more wonderful than I had expected it to be. And
thank you.
I loved all of your Weird Al isms when you were vocally illustrating what you meant. I
know you know this, but like, you know, it's like, and again, I'm going to use the same phrase, which again, like if Bob's listening to this, he should take this as an ultimate compliment. Like, I deeply admire Weird Al and have my whole life. And, you know, you know this when you are in the car with me, every single artist that we listen to, like we were in the car the other day, and Hold On by Wilson Phillips was on. And, I said to you, I used to have a CD single for the song You're in Love, and there was a live version of this on it. And then I went on to tell you about like the minor vocal differences that were on, like, you know, and I'm like that way about so many things. So like, and that's with like, you know, all these artists that used to have like tons of CD singles and you know, not Wilson Phillips, but like, artists with like vast, catalogs and stuff. And in the grand scheme of things, Weird Al has a finite amount of material released. Like, in the grand scheme of things, 14 studio records, and really no like B-sides to speak of. And I own Squeezebox, so calm down.
That's why I married you.
But like when I say no B-sides to speak of, I'm talking about Prince or Oasis. Like, you know, you know what I mean? No B-sides to speak of, no rarities, like no, you know, there's not like a bootleg archive out there, like say a Pearl Jam, you know. So in the grand scheme of things, 14 studio records is a finite amount of material. So I have combed over this stuff as much or more than anyone else ever has. And I have just again, not to labor the phrase, but I have just the deepest appreciation for this guy. And, you know, like, when I say that a hair metal polka is a missed opportunity, I say that with like, again, like all the admiration in the world. Like I say that with not with, oh man, I can't believe he didn't do that. But I say that with the whole, like, oh my God, what I wouldn't give to hear that. Like,
right. No, I totally get what you're saying. 'Cause it's like, it's a missed opportunity, not for him, but like for us.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
and just one more thing. And I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off. The other thing is, I like to think that, you know, if you had asked me to make this in 1988, I would have been like, I don't know, probably 3 Bon Jovi songs and fart noises, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I like to think that I have studied Weird Al long enough my whole life now to where I'm able to make these calls. And I think that's a reflection on him.
Yes. You got his whole catalog of music and polka to look back on and say, like, this is how it would go. Like, the structure is established. What he does with the polka is like, there's not, I don't want to use the word formula, but I'm going to, like, these are things that the polkas have, you know? And yeah, like, by this point in his career, right, he had the polka on In 3D, the polka on Dare to Be Stupid, the polka on Polka Party, right?
Yeah.
And he had established the format, because I truly think the polka party is a masterclass in it. Like, he was on his third one and he knew what he was doing. And then you didn't get a polka on the album that followed Polka Party, which took twice as long to come out as any of his albums ever had at that point. And then you're like, where the heck is the polka? You know? And then the next polka you get, which we'll talk about on the next album, is the Hot Rocks polka.
Right.
Which it's true to form, but it also breaks the formula a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get another true Weird Al polka until 1991. And it's just interesting.
No, I totally agree.
So, yeah, this would have been.
Well, we will be at UHF soon enough to.
We sure will. We sure will, because we are halfway through the Even Worse album. So yeah, I just would like to share with listeners that I am going to have Insane Ian back on the show to do a recap of side one. Scheduling wise, that's going to take a little longer than usual. So here's one of two things are going to happen. There is going to be a week where we'd usually have an episode where we don't, or if by some miracle Russ and I decide to sit down and record something bonusy, you will get something bonusy. But then Insane Ian will be back to recap side one of Even Worse with me, and then we'll kick off side two. And I've got some fun guests lined up to kick off side two. And I'll tell you what, the back half, well, the back 2/3 of side two is pretty much all Detroit, stacked with folks from
Detroit friends.
Friends.
Want to be clear, we know they're not Detroit artists.
They're not Detroit artists. No, they're friends from there.
Fantastic Detroit friends, by the way. Some folks who run and own and are associated with Rock City Music up in Detroit. We just inarguably one of the most fantastic places you can go. Like in a city filled with, and the more Lauren has been there for visits, the more she gets it. She like truly gets it and understands. She had the privilege of seeing Weird Al in that city, and she
sure did.
She like completely understands.
I wept.
Like what when people call Detroit Rock City, and when people talk about like Detroit crowds and the music vibe and everything, there's a reason why. And there's very few things in life I get uppity about, and snooty, and or as Ferris Bueller says, snooty, snotty, about. One of them is the amazing music culture in my hometown of Detroit, Michigan, and in a city filled with that. Rock City Music is just a haven for all things music, and we're going to have a couple of the guys on who are just incredible leaders of all things. It's not just about a store; it's about everything they do with, for, and around Detroit.
Yeah. No, for
and
sure.
They're every bit as excited to come on this show as we are excited to have them on.
No, I know. I just reached out to both of them today because I was in scheduling mode today, trying to get people organized to like work out the latter half of this album. And everybody's super excited.
And to give the audience an idea, it's not for a week after this episode releases. But they are very much in the throes of preparing for Record Store Day. They're getting all their mass amount of products started dropping today. Mm-hmm. And as early as 8:00 this morning, they were fielding messages from me about hey, totally unrelated to Record Store Day. I have this question about this record I'd like to buy from you sometime. And, they were taking care of that. And Lauren was shooting the messages throughout the day. About, recording episodes of this in the future. And they were, kind enough to stop and return messages. And that's just how we do in Detroit. It's about taking care of other people while you get your thing done. So I'm really excited for our audience to hear these cats talk, because they know their music and they know good people, and that's Weird Al. He knows music and he knows good people.
Knows music, knows good people, and I'm very, very excited for it. And also, speaking of folks from Detroit, Zach is going to be back to talk about Twister when we get to that point in the album.
All girls and homeboys.
All the girls and homeboys playing Twister. Yeah, so that'll be fun. So you got a lot to look forward to. But like I said, I don't know if you're going to get an episode 2 weeks from today, but I can promise you 4 weeks from today, you will hear from me and Insane Ian recapping side 1, and then we'll jump into side 2 and have all sorts of fun. So if you get an episode 2 weeks from today, that's a boon for us all. If not, then it's just as to be expected, because life is crazy. But this was fantastic. Russ, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
putting this together.
And I can send you, I'll copy and paste my notes and send them to you if you want to put it in the
I'll at least put the
show notes.
Yeah.
The at least the song titles of the order or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I make people listen to it to find out what it is.
Or maybe for your, put it in the
For my
Facebook a couple of
archives.
days after the, after the Facebook,
Yeah.
or after the episode comes out, maybe leave it in the comments a couple of days later or something.
Yeah, something like that. I'll have it.
Just for reference.
Just for reference.
For people.
People can have it. But yeah, this was fantastic. I loved it. I wish it happened. I'm glad it happened here. And
Somebody can still make it happen.
It can still happen. It can still happen. But anyway, thank you all for listening. This has been wonderful. Thank you, Russ, for being here.
I totally meant to say this at the top. If you're still with us on this, I mega loathe the term hair metal, with a passion.
I know.
It's the lesser of all evils. I don't love a lot of genre. I don't like alternative either. Alternative to what?
Yeah.
But it's just, I tried for years to be like, well, I really like a lot of rock music from 1986 to 1990, and then people will be like, I don't know what you mean. And then you start going, well, Tesla and Skid Row and so on and so forth. And then people are like,
no,
people are just like, well, you mean hair metal? And you're like, damn it.
Well, I mean, that's easier than saying American glam rock.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. Speaking of which, I just said Tesla and Skid Row. Tesla, Skid Row weren't all people that came to me immediately front of mind. I was like, oh man, I'm going to work in all this stuff. Immediately disqualified all of their records. Well, I mean, Tesla's first record would have qualified, but the single anyone would have known at the time was Love Song. I don't need to break it all down, but in short, if you were listening to this and you were like, why no Skid Row? Why no Warrant? Why no?
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you, all of anything that would have qualified for this came out after Even Worse was released.
No, I trusted that because I was very quick. I knew Skid Row was later than what this would have qualified for this. So
would have been earlier if they hadn't had problems with their first lead singer.
Well,
but what are you going to do?
Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Anyhow, thank you for listening. I appreciate you being here, and be cool, stay weird, and as Weird Al says, be kind, bring joy, repeat.